Hey everybody, how you doing? I just woke up from my needy. It's a needy thing. You need to make yourself look a certain way. So if someone is presenting themselves the way that you want to present yourself, you do not take on their role. Because if you want to walk in someone's shoes, if you want to think how someone has thought and go through the things that people have went through in their life to even be where they have, people have went through hell and back to be who they are, and they're going to remain who they are. And then it's like, okay, we have somebody that comes along and is like, well, you know what, let me take their ideas, let me take their hunches, let me take their mind. But you cannot do that. You cannot live in someone else's energy and think that that's going to make you thrive on to be who you are. Because there's going to be something that's going to happen in your future that's going to make you feel as though you can't live up to the standards that you have set for yourself because you're walking in somebody else's shoes. You just can't do that. And I'm just going to keep it real with y'all. I cannot speak upon anything that I have never been through. Okay. As I said, you cannot walk in anybody else's shoes. Nobody. You cannot experience and see what a person has saw through their eyes and how they feel and how they receive the messages of God to them. That is a mortal sin that a lot of us have created for this world. So we sit here and think to ourselves, why are people like this? Why do people do this? Because this is something that really is a mortal sin. And I don't think that people are really mentally, mentally registering that it is. I mean, just like I said, people sit there and they dish it out, but when it's dished back to wash it, they can't do it. They cannot handle it. All right. Only you, the true bearer of truth and understanding and light that God, your ancestors, your spirit guides have touched you and anointed you and have given you this power. How will you use this power? What will you do with this? That's why you were chosen. Nobody's going to sit there and just write a whole script for you, because that's what it seems like to me with some situations. It's a script. And if you can't come up with a good script, what are you going to do? You're going to go and you're going to take somebody else's ideas and the ventures that they've been through their life without even witnessing their life through their eyes, or how their soul has cried, or how their heart has been broken, or how everything just at one time for one person did not make sense at all. But now everything falls together. And once it falls together, there are people that lurk and people that leech. Okay. They leech onto you and your energy, and they provoke that. That is being provoked. Okay. That is being gang stalked. That is being, I can do it better than you, or no. Everyone has an assignment. Either you understand that assignment or you don't. And if you don't live in someone else's presence with that. Don't do that. There's some people out here I know that are going through things. The holidays are coming up. People feel as though, there's family issues, there relationship issues, there's job issues, there's things like that are going on in the world. The world is such a serious thing because there are so many evildoers in this world. And for the good that try and know that they're doing good and set forth on a path to do good are always put down by the people that cannot even amount to half of what some of these people do. I have met people from all walks of life. I love everyone. But there is no way I'm going to set up and try to adapt someone's life to ordain mine. Okay? Because God has already done that from birth. Either you is or ain't. That's how we say it. Okay? In reality, either you is or you ain't. And I see a lot of ain'ts these days. A lot of the ises will be quiet, but that's not a good thing for you to do. Don't sit down and don't let anybody back you up against the wall because because you don't feel like you can come up against this person because they've taken all that you've believed in. They've taken all that you know and that is holy and turned it into a mortal sin only to gain purpose. But in reality, you've gained purpose by being you and expressing yourself and who you are and your uniqueness, your soul that abides with your body. Your body's just mechanical here. But some people are not realizing this, that when it comes down to some things, your mind is controlled by what you let control it. God is your controller. Your spirit, your ancestors come. They protect you, okay? Either you are going towards this white light, either this is what you were living in and ordained to be, or not. Pick your side. This is a time to pick your side of what you're going to do and what you're going to set forth to believe in and hold on to as just a mere mortal. Okay? This is not a joke. We're getting into the day and age to where these things are happening in front of our faces that we just used to believe that was mere fantasy. There are things we're going to start seeing that are not going to make human sense. Those of us that are chosen are going to know what is really happening here. And it's been happening, but more so now, your eyes are opening. They're going to open more broader than they ever have in your life, and you're going to be seeing people for who they really are. You can say, yes, I've seen people. I know how people are. I know this, I know that. But no, this is going to be a whole new reality. This is a whole new age that we are living in, that we are going to be dealing with people that claim themselves to be angels but walk amongst the demons in hell. Now, when I wake up with these things on my mind, I just hold them in. But I have people that to share this with. So everyone knows and sees what's really going on here. There are people claiming that they are holier than thou. There are people that walk this earth every day and do not realize that their life is promised to the lower levels and the depths of hell that they can never contain and ever freaking fathom in their mind that exist. But once you keep doing this, once you keep putting on these facades, these masks, these faces that are not real, you are going to reap the karma of making people follow you as a false prophet. There's going to be more false prophets in this world than you could ever believe, my loves. Okay? You guys are like my family, like my soul tribe. And I want to share these things with you because this is what I've seen and this is what I know. As a child, I was taught this. There are false prophets. And I've seen it play out. I've seen it play out. And this is unfair because people get drugged into something that is like an illusion. And that's exactly what it is. An illusion, my friends, my family, my loved ones. I confide in you guys about things to where I never felt that I could talk to people about these situations. This is real. This is not a joke out here. We are dealing with the depths on this earthly plane that we live on every day. We are seeing things that we never thought would come to pass. We all hear of these people going psychotic and people losing their minds. But this is not people losing their minds. This is people being possessed because they are being instilled with these people out here that want us to believe that they're really attached to something that they're not. They want to give us false hope and false belief. But what is it when it comes down to it? What is it to believe in? The Almighty. That is who we believe in, not the false words of someone that feels as though they could put their self in someone else's shoes and take on that vulnerability. You cannot do that. You cannot rewrite someone else's life to make it yours. You cannot continue to walk on people like doormats and think that everything is going to be all right for you in life and karma is not going to come back around to you. You cannot do that. I'm so sick of seeing people use people, abuse people. It hurts me so much. And sometimes I wonder why it hurts me so much. Because we can no longer deal with that. And we can no longer do that. We can no longer deal with it. We have to stand strong in God's word. That's what we have to do. Okay? There are people here that are dealing with relationships that it's like, can they even deal with this anymore? There are relationships. There's so many things that are getting left out in the cold these days because real is real and real recognize real. Fake is fake. Okay? And we're all going to recognize one day what fake is. We know what it is. We know what a knockoff is, and we know what an original replica is. But there's so many fakes out here and phonies that amongst the crowd, you're not going to be able to find a real person. No, you're not. They're far and few and in between. And as I said, the far and the few and in between, they're there. You just got to look for them and find them. They're just not going to jump out. And as I said, there's so many people that just try to mimic people and just, it's sad. And it really is, you guys. It is so sad. And I just don't get it. I just don't get it. It's crazy. And it's something that we shouldn't even have to deal with as we're trying to walk our path and live the life that God wants for us. But at the same time, you have someone that's trying to live in your being and do as you do. It is the saddest thing that I've ever seen in my whole life. It's sick and it's disgusting. And it needs to really quit. It needs to come to an end. Because at the end of all this trying to be like this one and that one, when it's over, all you have to do is answer for yourself and your soul and how you bore it or bear it, okay, on this earth, and how you came across on this earth, and how you cared on this earth, and how your heart bled on this earth, and the pain that you experienced only to take back as a lesson to help the next person on this earthly realm. Because as I said, there's going to be a lot of situations to where people are going to be put on the chopping block to see how they really are and to bare their soul. And when it is no more, when nothing else is there, you only have yourself, it's not going to make sense. Because you were taking on someone else's burdens. You were taking on someone else's being. Energy forces are something that is so serious. But people don't realize how serious these energy beings are. They don't realize how deep it is if you get into something and there's no belief and you're taking on a persona that is not yours and that you cannot handle. People do not understand how much that could come against you, and these strikes are against you, but still you do not believe that what goes around comes around. When you're staring it in its face, when you're staring something in its face that is so your opposition, that is just the most horrendous thing that you could ever experience. Facing your shadow side, facing that person that you have left that shell behind, that person is no longer existing to you. That is your opposition. You have to fight yourself. When you have not stepped outside of your body and fought yourself, you can never be that person that you want to copy, that is not authentic, that it's like her conditioning. They condition us. As I watch things, they condition us to do this dance. They condition us to sing this song. They condition us to want to do this. They condition us to want to eat this, to walk this way, to dress this way, to do our makeup this way, to do our hair this way. We are under a level of conditioning that this world will be appreciative of you if you do this. If this is what you do, you are accepted. But if you walk with God and live your life in a gracious way of the light, the truth, and the way, you are looked at as just an outcast, as someone that just doesn't make sense to anybody else, and you're just weird, and nobody sees a sense of anything in you, even though that you have the heart of gold and the gratitude to give to many, and the love and the heart to extend to many. People take that and use that as a form of manipulation against the chosen ones. That is what people do not understand. When you are a chosen one, and I know we've heard it, do we really understand what that means to be chosen? That means that you have cried to yourself many, many nights. You have hurt so many, many days. You have walked alone so long that walking alone seems as second wind. And you come to that point in your life to where you can walk alone. It doesn't hurt anymore. And then when it gets like that, you're at your strongest point to where you face that shadow side of yourself, that dark side that you have brought yourself out of. You have stepped outside of that shell and become something that you never thought that you could become in your whole life. Do you understand? And I know you know. People hurt. Hurt people hurt people. Miserable people want you to be miserable with them. God cuts you off. He will leave you by yourself to where you don't even understand why you're by yourself. You don't even know why nobody wants to stand by you. But at that point in time, God saw that to be the best thing, so you could just look at yourself. You could step outside and look at yourself and say, what do I need to be? What do I need to do? How do I need to apply myself to my life and to help other people? Not to apply myself to make myself look good, and try to keep up with the Joneses and the Smiths. I could care less about them. I could care less about keeping up with somebody. I could care less about trying to do what somebody else is doing. I could care less. All I know is that I'm in my lane and I'm staying in it. And this is what I do, and this is how I express myself. Now, as far as the people out here that's trying to adapt someone's personality and take on their energy and tap into their force, that is a force to be reckoned with. And I will tell you right now, because nobody knows the trouble. Okay? Nobody knows the troubles that I've seen, the heartache that I've bared, the things that as a child I had to deal with that followed me to where I had to get an understanding that this is who I am. And they don't want you to grow and prosper in that understanding because you are the opposition to them. You are someone that you're not making sense. They want to make you look crazy. They want to make like you're the bad guy, like you don't know what you're talking about. When you know absolutely God has given you the wisdom in the womb to be born into this world, to give it the wisdom. The ones with the wisdom are took out. They do not want us to express ourselves. They are out here hiding. They are wolves in sheep's clothing, and they are right in front of us. They are in front of us in media. They are in front of us in everyday life at our jobs. They are everywhere that we are. They are hiding in the crevices only to jump out, to put us down and asunder, not in what we believe, what is real. We know what is real, and we know what is make-believe. This is not Mayberry. The truth is real. And sometimes the truth hurts. And it does. But in order to face the real and know what this world really is about, you have to look beyond what is in front of you. Take them damn rose-colored glasses off. Take that sheer sheet off. No, we need a clear view. Get that magnifying glass if you have to. Look at this shit for what it is, y'all. And I'm just keeping it real. This is real talk. Look at it for what it is. Understand that everybody's not for you. Even though they hide behind these veils and say, yes, yes, I'm for you, I love you. No. You know authenticity when you see it. You know it when you feel it. You know it when it's in your field, your energy field. You know there are people here trying to drain it. But every day you keep going, right? Every day you keep going. Every day you're alive and God gives you breath to expand your lungs. Only half the time to breathe in the bullshit of the masses that believe that this is what you need to do in order to be accepted into society. You don't have to do that because God accepts you for who you are. You have already accepted yourself and stepped outside and realized that you are different. Even though people look at you and you don't want to be judged. Nobody does, but nobody can judge you but God. Nobody. But yet, the masses want you to do this so you will be accepted. You have to be a certain way. And I've realized that even with family, you have to be a certain way for your family to accept you. You have to be a certain way to receive love, to receive notoriety in life. But the only notoriety that you need is with God. And that's what some of us just do not understand. And once we understand that, we can stand strong and never divided and stand strong against this evil mass that has taken over and covered the world with war, with hunger, with killing, the brutality of killing people's sense of being. Once you find that footing in life that you know you can hold on to, and that you know that you're comfortable within yourself, you are living, my friend. You are living. Once you live in that light of the Lord, and you know, and your angels and ancestors, you know you are so protected, and you have no fear, and you face this world and leave them behind. Only then will you understand the true meaning of authenticity of the Lord and walking in that light. Many are called, but the chosen are few, my friends. And we have to decipher and pick through it as to reclaim our faith, as to reclaim our footing as the people that we are, and our souls are to bear. Not everyone can go. Not everyone can go. But the ones that know they can't go are trying to adapt the energy fields of the chosen ones, of the ones that are deserving, that were undeserved to certain people and shunned. And that hurts because my emotions, I'm very empathic. I take on, I mean, I can't sit here and tell you what I really am. I can't break it down and say, oh, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. I cannot. I am many. I am many. I cannot tell you exactly what I am. I take on and I adapt many, many, many feelings, many souls. I cannot sit here and pick out which one I am or what I am. But all I can say is that I am unique in my way, and that is how God made me. I cannot tell you, and I tell people that when they say, well, what are you? You know what, dear? I don't know. I don't know. All I know is I am a being of God. That's what I know. I don't know. Okay. But all I know is that I was put on this earth for a reason. I was put on this earth to learn lessons that were hard in coming. I was put on this earth to be and to walk and to witness, for to go back to tell what I witnessed. As I tell people, though, I've been here. I've been here for a long time. I am 44 years old and I feel like I've been here many lifetimes, only to go back to report that it is the same thing, but only worse. But I've learned my lessons only to come back once again and learn them. No, I cannot sit here and tell you everything that I am because I'm many. I cannot do that. Inside of me, there are things that Some days I have to deal with that I pray so hard. I pray all day. And this is just not talking. This is realness. I pray all day just to get through my day, to stay close to God, because I feel as though there's so much opposition out here. And there's so many people that are so against you, and they don't like you because you are of God. And you really seriously walk in this. And this is what you eat, breathe, and sleep and drink and abide by. This is not a joke. This is for real. And the people that take it as a joke, it offends me very badly, because it's offending God. It's offending everything that God has put you here to do. He has put you here to be authentic. Menti. Okay, that's how it was meant to come out. Menti are called, but the chosen are very few. And we have to decipher those very few. We cannot give into the ways of the man, for the ways of the man will lead us to eternal damnation. If we put ourselves in a space of where we understand our being and our energy source and our authenticity in ourselves in a whole, and quit putting ourselves in categories, because we cannot explain what we really are. We cannot do that. When someone asks you, what are you? You can say, I do not know, with knowing at the same time. And that's the realness of the situation. You do not have to sit there and explain yourself and what you do and how you do it and how this and how that. No, you don't even have to do that. Just get straight to the point. Get straight to the point that God has given you the direction and your script, not anybody else's. You cannot take on anyone else's life force. And when you do this, this is something that you're going to have to answer to and answer for when you leave this earthly realm. So when people sit there and they say, what are you? Hit them back with, what are you? Who are you? How do you define yourself? Do you define yourself of God or of the masses of the world that will lead to total destruction if you keep following the paths of the ways of the man and not the good Lord and the spirit that leads you and gives you vital information every day? But you take that vital information and you disregard it as though, oh, that's not real or that's not happening. Open your eyes. Things are happening that you're not going to understand. It's been happening. It's always been here. It's always been a force. It's always been good against evil. And the evil seems as though it's getting pushed into the mainstream, into the forefront, to be used as a master manipulator against God's chosen ones. For we are backed into the corner and not believed and not listened to and all this other stuff that they put us in. They put us in categories of that person needs to be locked up in a mental sanitarium, or there's so many people that have witnessed so many things that they've locked those people away, not to be a prophet, that they bore witness that you are crazy because you believe you are crazy because you see me for who I really am. No. And I've always said that. You sit up and you watch these movies, and I know that I used to, you guys, that I really don't watch a lot of TV now because that's that other bullshit that try to put you in that frame of mind that you crazy. Now these movies, the exorcism of Emily Rose, the exorcism, do you understand how deep that is? There are so many people that need to be exorcised on this earth. You would be in amazement. But as I said, they put it up on a screen as though to be dramatized, as if this is not real, when this is real. Now, there are people that have demonic entities all in through them. When you start talking about God, they wiggle, and they wiggle and squeal inside because they know that they're wrong. They wiggle and just squeal like pigs, the swine. But we're sitting here looking at this as though it's the next fad. It's the next thing. It's the new dance. There is a dance that I was looking at a couple days ago, because sometimes I do look at things and I pay attention. But see, when I am supposed to be enjoying what I'm watching, I'm looking at the unbenefits of it, the things that are against us, the things that are evil. Do you realize that these people are doing things? Levitating, gliding, following these frames of action that are demonic. Do we really see this? As I said, it's not a monkey see, monkey do. That is just a mild comparison to what is really going on. They try to smooth it over as though this is not what's happening. But in all the while, this is what's happening, and trying to creep into your humble abode, into your mind, to put these evil entities into you. But you're crazy, right? These things aren't really happening, right? Just as though when Chris Angel, David Blaine, David Copperfield, now we look at them as illusionists, right? But the thing about it is, and I'm getting deep with y'all, the thing about it is these are warlocks. And we're sitting here believing that somebody can really levitate. A mere mortal can do these things. They come to us as mere mortals, as you and I. And they put us in this frame of mind as, ooh, this is mystical, this is magical. I believe this. This mere mortal can do this. But no. And what's so funny is when they disappear, they're just going and they're regenerating. But that's craziness, right? That's something that someone would say that is just pure crazy. And they want to lock you up. And they want to throw away the key. Never to speak again on that. Shh. Keep it to yourself. That is what's going on here. It is hand to mouth. Shh. We don't talk about that. But we could talk about the people that we think are crazy. We could talk about that, can't we? We could talk about the people that we see as not sane. But we can't talk about what we've seen not to make us sane. Lock them up, throw away the key. That's the best bet. And it's been that way since the beginning of time. Prisons are overpopulated with prisoners. Only because evil entities have gotten into people to do things, to take lives, to rape, to be pedophiles, to be these things, these evil entities in this world. But yet and still we get a key and lock them up without really knowing spiritually what's going on. Now, I don't know what made me want to talk about these things, but I talked about it. And I wanted to share them with you guys because this is real what we're living in. And they always say we living in the last days. But there's more last days to come. And the more last days to come, the more things we're going to see. And they're going to intensify more and more as time progresses. As you're feeling lately that time has no capacity lately. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed that time is slipped away from you? Without you really sensing what it is and the capacity of it? Have you really noticed that? Time is moving at a rapid pace. But it's on a different dimensional pace. Now, these are the things that I'm paying attention to and I'm seeing. Because today, for instance, I had did something Monday. Now, today, I had a discussion about it and didn't even remember. Now I'm just saying now, didn't even remember that I had did this Monday. Now, time is moving so suddenly that you have to watch your every movement and your every word and your thoughts and what you're putting out here into the universe. Watch how you look. Watch how you think. Watch how you perceive. Watch how you move. Watch how you step. Watch your time. For we're not working on our time. We're working on a dimensional time. And only the people that really understand this, you gonna know. You gonna know. Now, like I said, I don't know why I woke up and just started discussing this and wanted to put this on my platform. But I was directed to. And I'm very obedient. I do what I'm directed to do. Because if it is something that you need to know and pay attention to, but I know that everyone on my page is schooled up already. You already know. You already know what's going on. So with that knowing and that knowledge that you have, you can't say what you really are and what you're capable of doing. God has anointed you and blessed you with capabilities that you cannot explain, that you cannot pinpoint. There are seers and there are non-seers. Now it is up to us, the seers, to see this for really what it is. And we've been seeing it for really what it is. The fake shall divide and go into different corridors, in different directions, to shed the false prophecies of the fake Messiah. The anointed shall stand in faith, in battle, in war against the fake prophets that coexist to exist with the anointed. Now it is up to us to decipher who is what and when and where. This is all going to go down because it's a battle. It's one of the biggest battles that will be fought. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. I hope that some of the information that I did share was informative and that you understand what I'm saying. I love you guys, and I'm only going to be real with you. And I'm only going to share realness with you. Because we do not know what we really are. We cannot explain to you what we are. All we know is that we are either with God or not. Either we walk in the way, the truth, the light, or we don't. So I love y'all. And I hope that you understand where I'm coming from when I come out of nowhere with these messages. I hope that you feel me and you understand me. That these messages are given to me in my sleep and I wake up and it's just, I can't. No cards, just straight knowledge. This is real. It's up to us to stand up against and fight it. So I love y'all. And Just keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open because it's real. I love y'all.